Hey guys, welcome back. Andrew here with Ambient Endeavors, and we got a different setup today, doing a little bit of a different format for this video. But at the start of the year, I kind of wanted to do more amp focused content. I've got a bunch of amps here in the studio that I love playing live and otherwise, and I haven't done too many videos exploring the amps, how I run them, different modifications or things that I've done to them. So I'm excited to do this video. Huge thanks to Warehouse Guitar Speakers who are sponsoring this by sending over a few speakers for me to try, and we're just gonna shoot out a handful of speakers in this 68 custom Vibro Champ Reverb and see how they sound compared to the stock speaker. So if you clicked on this video, chances are you either own or are interested in this amp, or any of the four speakers that we're going to be listening to today. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about this amp. I got in a couple years ago and it was released from Fender. Really cool little kind of bedroom small gig amp. It's 6 watts. They put a 10-inch speaker in this opposed to the 8-inch that would come with a vintage Vibro Champ, which is really cool, and it kind of opens up this amp in a nice way to allow you to play smaller gigs or to have a little bit fuller of a sound from a small amp. I like the sound of the amp out of the box, but you know, I got curious to just kind of hear what some other speakers and what some other speaker flavors might sound like in this amp, how they'd change or augment the tones from the circuit, and I just kind of was curious. So we got some speakers in from Warehouse Guitars and we swapped them through. So one thing you'll notice about this specific amp, if you have one and are interested in swapping out speakers in it, there's kind of a pesky metal cage that is installed around the tubes in the chassis area in the back, behind one of the back panels. So to do any speaker swaps like the ones I'm doing here in this video, you have to remove that cage. That's what I did to get these speakers in and out. I'm not really sure why Fender put that in this amp. It doesn't seem to be serving much of a purpose aside from just keeping hands out of tubes and things like that. But I did that, and then I'm using the amp with the 2 wood panels on the back side after I've swapped speakers in. So from there, you really just take both back panels off. You'll loosen each of the 4 screws that come to attach the speaker, and really carefully pull the speaker out. You'll kind of have to bend it and maneuver it around the output transformer, and be careful with that too. And then undo the speaker terminal clips that are on the existing speaker, obviously, before you take that out. Then from there, you can pop in your new speaker and sort of reverse the process. Tighten the screws in an X pattern, and you don't want to over tighten speaker screws. There's no need to like wrench it down like you're building a house or something, but just until they get really snug. I'll note that most of the speakers that came in were really easy to swap in and out of this amp once you took that cage off. The one exception was the G10A, the Alnico speaker, was a pretty tight squeeze in there. You had to rotate it so that a certain part of the basket of the speaker was tucked behind that output transformer, and then it was really you didn't have a lot of space to work with. So it did fit, but you have to maneuver it a little bit and be careful there with that. Otherwise, the other ones were really easy in and out, and yeah, no issues on the process of swapping the speakers. So we're going to just go through each of the speakers, give a brief overview and some specs, and then you'll get to hear each of them in this amp with identical settings from one to the next in both clean and dirty sounds. I'll be playing a Jennings Voyager Deluxe guitar with McNelly wide range pickups in it throughout, and we're just going right into the amp with a little bit of amp reverb. So the first speaker is this ET10. It's from Warehouse Guitars British Invasion series. It's a 65 watt speaker. So the ET10 will give you those pronounced mids like you'd expect from a British speaker. You get a tight low end there, and also a smoother top end. It wasn't overly bright or harsh. It's really nice and smooth, almost mellow in the top end from the speaker. So the next one we'll check out in our progression here is the green Beret 10. So this model is kind of a derivation of another British speaker with a very similar name. It's a 25 watt speaker. It's again got those tight pushed mids, articulate top end, a little bit more sparkle and shine than the ET10 will have, and also some really nice organic breakup, some really nice harmonic content in the breakup to this speaker too. The last of the warehouse guitar speakers we'll check out is this Alnico G10A. So it's the beefiest magnet. There's a 40-ounce magnet on the back here. It's rated at 75 watts. This is actually from their American series, the American sounding speakers. And it'll have smooth mids, chimey top end like a lot of Alnicos tend to have, and really unique breakup in the mids as you start to push it. So that will round out the group of warehouse speakers. We're going to be comparing these speakers to the stock speaker in here, which is a Celestion 1030 speaker that came in the amp. So now let's hear some sounds. We're going to check them out, starting with the stock speaker in here, and then going through the ET10, the Green Beret 10, and the G10A from Warehouse Guitar Speakers. Let me know what you think of each of them, if you had a clear favorite, if you liked one in the cleans and preferred the other in the dirty tones. Yeah, just curious to hear what you think. I'm still making up my mind as to which one I prefer, which one I'd keep in the combo here, but it's been fun to get to try all three of these speakers from Warehouse and see what they sound like. Check it out.